Do you have a type?
I like muscle bound. I like, medium height. I like a man that's very masculine, in the way he carries himself. He's not like super communicative. Like, I believe like a real man is of a few words,
So what attracted you to my page?
Your looks, if I'm being honest.
You're attracted to somebody who's muscle bound. But if you meet a man who is health conscious and cares about his looks, that takes a lot of work.
It
right?
is.
Why do you think that a man who has put in that much energy into his health would be even attracted to somebody who aesthetically has not put the same work in for herself?
So listen, he asked me if I had a type. I don't really have a type.
You did. You were very specific. You said muscle bound.
I said what I don't. No. What I said was I don't like tall, skinny guys.
You don't. You told us what you didn't like. You said muscle bound.
I'm a big girl. We just won't go together.
A lot of the time, there's no accountability. You have not been in the gym.
I have not.
I don't need your confirmation on that. I can see it.
Oh my God. That was a short clip of that. Shout out to Nothing But the Truth podcast. Listen, and her body. They're not. But that is what a lot of women are attracted to. But it is not shocking. The more I listen to women and what their expectations are from men and what they want from men, it makes sense. They're always looking for something that they are not. Broke women want rich men. Toxic women want disciplined men. So they think. They want a man who's going to make them whole and give them everything that they don't have. Change their life, be their therapist, and all of these things. They want men who can come in and change them from their toxic masculine ways because they don't want to put in the work to do it themselves. So if you have a bunch of women who are overweight, always like muscle men. I've always seen this. Women who are always on the larger side always go for these fit, muscly guys.
So I just wanted to speak on this because this is another one of those situations where I said there's a rule of thumb, but I feel like a lot of people have a lot of biases because I don't know how to describe it. A lot of people have a social bias, but they don't really understand numbers and stuff like that. I'll say it like that. I'll say, like, from personal experience, I've seen quite different. And I'm not promoting unhealthy weight. I'm not promoting being bigger and just saying you're bigger. I'm not promoting that at all. But personally speaking, I'm a guy that has always been fit. I would go up in weight quite often. I would sometimes drop down. Sometimes I would gain weight. I've gotten as big as 250 and as small as I would say like 155, and I'm 5'10". And so the thing about dating bigger women is that sometimes as a fit guy, I'm gonna say it like this real quick. So the only rule of thumb I could honestly say is if you aren't like pencil thin where your butt bones are showing and your rib bones are showing, I think that you have good odds at finding someone. And I'm talking about long as you have a decent shape or something like that, I feel like you have a nice chance. Because a lot of people do the one size fit all thing and say, oh, if you're a big girl, this and that. When I know plenty of men that would jump at the opportunity to go to Africa just because the bigger girls there hold the weight differently, where it's in the curves, booty, thighs, boobs. And so me personally, I've always had a really high sex drive. And I don't know, they said there's some studies about it or something like that. They said like when a man is at a state of like a deficit, hunger, like for instance, a lot of fit people do intermediate fasting, which is where you choose not to eat for a certain period of time to burn extra calories, etc., etc. And so a lot of them are at fasted state, as well as they said something about like if you're not always eating, and then they said something even about, I guess, the plushiness of the women visually brings some sort of peace. But I will say this: whenever a woman, her body, like her weight is sitting right on her, meaning that universally most people love an hourglass shape, I think that long as you keep it like tame, where it's like it's healthy for you and everything like that, I think most men are open to it when it comes to within reason. Because there's some men that they only want fit chicks. There's some men that they have an ideal. But for those of us who find beauty in different things, I've dated lots of women that are not physically my type, where I might be attracted to them, but definitely it's not my go-to. Like one of my exes of recent, she was more top heavy. I'm definitely a booty guy. So whenever you're talking about a curvy woman, BBW is fine. I've even been bigger than BBW, because just depending on how the hygiene, the personality is. Because the thing is, what a lot of people don't take away from this is that when you are a guy and into fitness, right, there's different levels to it. Because there's some people that got into it for vain reasons, and then there's some people that gotten into it because it changed their life. Like I'm one of the people that I used to be chubby at one point in time when I was in elementary school and some of middle school. And so it made me not get a lot of girls. It made me get little broed a lot of times. And so when it comes down to it, I know there's a process. And for me, as I said before, like if it's sitting right, it's sitting right. Because for me, like, if I'm attracted to that woman, I'm going to be attracted to that woman. And a lot of the times, I'm not going to be attracted to a body shape that I can't, I'll say it like this, where I wouldn't be attracted if it gained or lost 30 pounds within reason. But yeah, my ex, she was more of like a Barbie, like really defined, beautiful chest, stomach, ab, like kind of ab shape. She was more of that slender, slightly curvy, top heavy, some booty. And that's not usually the type of woman I ever go for. But because she was different, because of her mindset, and because she was beautiful, she was attractive at how she was, I was all in. Even like I've dealt with plenty of women in the past that do not fit my ideal. Like there's obviously a frame that I like the most, or I would say I prefer, but for me it's all about how it's sitting. Because a lot of men, they want, at least the men that I'm going to be speaking for, because that seem like chubby chasers or whatever like that when it comes to fitness. A lot of men, we like curvy, actual women that are shaped like women. And so a lot of that weight, when it goes to those places, it adds a nice cushion. I've been at really low body fats, and I've dealt with women with low body fat. That does not feel good. You know, you feel bone hitting bone sometimes. But where I'm going with this is I went through a fitness transformation because that was the transformation I wanted to go through. And so a lot of those men, it's not only because they're curvy, thick, whatever you want to call it, extra plush, extra booty, whatever, but some of them can actually see past what's currently going on. Because another thing that people forget is a lot of the men that are into fitness, they also like helping people. They like helping people with their transformations. And when you don't go into it's just one extreme or the other. A lot of these concepts can make a lot more sense, because when you've been a person where you use something that other people use just aesthetically to make themselves vain and stuff like that, but you have used it to give yourself a healthier lifestyle, put yourself in a better mood, boost your confidence, you're not gonna look at that person that, as I said, there's a lot of beautiful women I've seen that are bigger, overweight, etc. Real beautiful in the face. A lot of them, unfortunately, have like that just face card on fleek, and then you see everything else, and it's just like, hey. But when it comes down to it, a lot of men can accept a work in progress, and that's something women can't accept. And that's why a lot of women can't grasp these concepts, because they're so used to being with vain people and being the vain people. It's hard to imagine somebody that took time to diet, exercise, etc. would want somebody that's comfortable as they are. Because another thing is, a lot of people get it wrong with some fitness guys, where that their standard is not your standard. Like, for instance, my standard of living is not a woman's standard. They would think I was complaining and bitching all the time if I was to say, hey, you have to do everything at my standard. And so a lot of men allow their women to not have that same standard that they have, meaning that they see themselves in a certain aesthetic, but their woman, it just, as long as they're feminine, curvy, or whatever, that could be the case. And I also have a friend, or an ex-friend or whatever, and she was one of those SSBBW types, real pretty in the face. At one time, she had a nice, exaggerated curvy frame, which I'm a fan of as well, natural, of course. But she could always get a new Instagram page and literally get hundreds of thousands of followers each time without even trying. There's like a weird following of men that will even accept the ones that I think that look like, their body shape is not flattering, in my opinion, for my taste at least. And they could have a whole crowd of men following them, being fans and everything like that. They even have it for some adult stars. To me, they don't have a really nice shape at all, or face, and they can still get this amount of people. And I think any type of exaggeration can get admiration or disgust, or whatever you want to call it, or people not want to agree with it. But for the most part, I would say this. I would say, don't judge people so harshly, because also, if, maybe, I know this woman said she didn't want to be in the gym, but some women would like to get into the gym. Some of this can be, convinced as well. But overall, I would say there's not one size fits all. But overall, I would say there's probably a lot more acceptance when it comes to bigger people than society points out. Almost like acceptance for, I would say, homosexual activity and stuff. There's a lot of people that say that they're straight and they dabble in homosexual activities. And then there's also people that always will say, hey, I'm not going to deal with a big person. But then yet all these big girls, some of them just not attractive at all to me. Big girls, they're still getting pregnant. They're still getting, laid down constantly. And the reason is because there's always a society norm that even if it's not the majority or everybody, there's still going to be a large niche of people who dabble in something that society normally says no to. But I think people should just not be super judgmental. I think healthy body types, I think promotion of that is necessary, health and wellness. But I'm also at the point also of not, just harshly judging someone and being like, oh, because I got 6-pack abs, hey, you're a curvy BBW chick. How dare you think that you can ever achieve getting a fit guy when that's not the case? Because, man, like, just the cloud, just the thought of the softness, just, really makes you be open to different body types. But like I said, when it's nice, trimmed, tamed, and it actually looks good, and the person is healthy, and they might not be at the like training weight or training body type, but long as there's like no health problems, and everyone starts somewhere, you know what I mean? So I'll put it like this to sum it up, because I don't want anybody thinking that I'm I don't want the confusion to think that I'm promoting an unhealthy lifestyle or acceptance or anything like that. But I'm just gonna say it like this: if it looks right, a lot of people are gonna go for it. But just be mindful that everybody is not into the same things. And one thing I can say is that being experienced and dealing with a number of women, you get blown away. There's a lot of things that come into play, really advanced stuff, I'll say it like that, when it comes to physical attraction and things of that nature. For instance, the situation where you'll have a female that's slim, thick, and she looks like she has no booty in the jeans, and or even no chest, and as soon as they are out of clothes, they're so soft in those areas. There's quite a bit that actually exists there. I'll just say it like that, without trying to get too extra or whatever like that. But my whole point is, when you can kind of move past just trying to be accepted with society and how society does things and how they view things, it allows you to be a lot more open to getting to know somebody, getting to know them past just their physical outlook, and see them for their potential. I've had quite a few women that I've dealt with long term that were I would say like projects, meaning like they were working on their fitness, they were working on their physique and stuff like that. I've helped women rehabilitate themselves from injuries, get curvier, get healthy, get into a healthy body weight, drop body weight. And it's just one of those things. Women, I think the beautiful thing about women is that a lot of their beauty comes naturally, in the curves, in the softness, in the features, and and these things are things that a lot of women, yes, they do go and pay for, but it's something that you don't really have to work hard to achieve. It's just something that you're born with, and you maintain it and you carry it gracefully. While men, just like how we are in life, I feel like a man, his body is a testament of not only what he's going through, what he's been through, but also of what is important to him, his duty. Like, for instance, like with me, I feel like physical fitness is not only a aesthetic thing. I feel like, yes, you should look your best for your the person that you're with, not only for them but for yourself as well. Like when you look good, you you perform good, people are way more open to you, more accepting. But also being a protector, I feel like that's something that a man should want to do. It's like it's a little bit past just, hey, I'm a beautiful woman, let me look good for my man. When it comes to a man, I shake my head when I see like a BBW woman or a big woman or whatever like that. I'm caked up and all that stuff. Guess what? She's still good for something. She can provide some very great comfort for the men that are into that, and there's quite a bit of leeway that you can go with that. But my whole point is, when it comes to an overweight male, I'm talking about can't keep up, can't run. If someone snatches one of your kids, he can't keep up, he can't run after them. If somebody comes towards the family, he doesn't look intimidating. People always think having a firearm is always the answer to everything. But when you don't work out, you got slow reflexes, you got weak grip strength, so someone can still snatch it from you, twist it out your hand, whatever. And so whenever I look at the fitness of a man, there's actual reasoning behind it. It's more for protection, not just looks. It's for duty, it's for role, right? And so that's the difference between why I would say like society does love going after bigger women, and it does. And the thing is, when it comes to a woman, if someone thinks your beauty is tarnished and it's by something that's easily controlled, that's when they usually will always kind of point these things out, like someone being a bigger woman, even if they're well put together. But personally speaking, this is just one of those topics that people like talking about because everybody, this is a problem in the United States. But I think personally, if somebody is curvy, BBW, or whatever, that doesn't automatically disqualify them from getting somebody fit. That all that is just society kind of like saying, how does this work? Opposites attract sometimes. Sometimes, hey, he's thinking about the head game. He's thinking about the booty. He's thinking about the jiggle. He's thinking about the project. He's thinking about that she can, what more she can become. He's thinking about how much, just all of that stuff. So that's kind of like what I'm gonna say about that, because I don't want to get too, I already kind of got deep into it, but I also didn't want to get like graphic or anything like that. I'm not trying to get too nasty with it, but it's just one of those subjects that I just find funny and amusing, kind of hearing different people's takes on it, especially when, I don't know, it just seems kind of biased. I'm like, hey, everybody is not into bigger women, but there's a whole niche for that. And believe me, there's reasons why somebody that's fit, hard-bodied would want somebody soft. And a lot of those women, they like laying up, eating, which is fun too if you're into fitness, because you burn a lot of calories, and you burn a lot of calories in the bed, and then there you go. You have a nice relationship that bounces back and forth with each other,